Hey there. A few weeks ago I made this vegetarian pasta for my family and they've been saying we got to have it again. So that's what we're making tonight. If you want this to be more of a vegan thing, instead of some cream or milk, I would do coconut milk. Or if you have a thinner milk, then also you could throw in like an avocado into the sauce, puree that would thicken it up. But we're gonna do vegetarian with some cream and some Parmesan. For my family of 6, this is gonna be a pretty big batch. You might wanna make half the size, but what we're doing is 2 big old bunches of spinach, 2 of these little organic zucchinis, 1 bunch of basil. This is 1 box or 1 pound of capellini or angel hair pasta, a little Parmigiano Reggiano. You don't have to use Parmigiano Reggiano. The other option is don't use Parmesan. 2 jars of these, they're unmarinated. If you like marinated, go with marinated. If I'm gonna marinate something, I wanna marinate it. So these are just whole unmarinated artichokes, bell pepper, a couple tomatoes, lemon, onion. We had some of this heavy cream, so I'm gonna use about a cup of that. Coarse ground kosher salt, black pepper, some cornstarch, and some garlic salt. I also did something a few weeks ago when I made it that's a bit extra with the artichokes. So you certainly could just like saute or roast some artichokes or just throw them in there. But I'm gonna show you kind of something a little special that's extra delicious. I got some water boiling real hard, threw a tablespoon or 2 of kosher salt in there. I'm gonna spread out the pasta. That'll cook. Most pastas cook like 7 or 8 minutes. People say you can take it out, throw it at the wall if it sticks, but it's not true because I've thrown pasta at a wall and it stuck and it was still a little too al dente. It's really important to stir pasta quite a bit while it's cooking. Some more than others. I mean, a fettuccine, because it's flat and it really sticks to each other, you got to stir that a ton. But all pasta, stir quite a bit while it's cooking. For the sauce, we're gonna put the juice of 1 lemon. To not get the seeds in there, I just kind of hold it right side up and watch. Put the lemon first, that way if the seed falls in, it's easy to pull out. Or you could go through a strainer or cheesecloth, but who does that? For the 1 bunch of basil, I'm not super concerned about the stems, so I just kind of break off the top part. There's a little bit of stem in there, but I'm good with that. Maybe I'll tear it again just to give my blender a head start. This organic spinach is pretty woody, so I'm gonna cut off a little bit of the stem, but I'll leave most of it on there. And I'm gonna put 2 bunches of spinach in here. I'm gonna pour in 1 cup of cream. And get it going. With this blender, packed this tightly, I gotta kind of work it around probably 1 time, take the lid off and move stuff around a bit. Pack's pretty full. All right, my pasta's cooked. I'm pouring a little cold water over it just to cool it down while I'm finishing up the sauce, and then we'll bring it back up to heat in the pan with the sauce. And if my pasta is going to sit for more than 5 minutes, I drizzle a little bit of oil over it, mix it in, keep it from becoming a big clump. All right, now for the artichokes. I told you this is a bit extra. You might just want to saute them, but this is really delicious, and so we're going to do it. I buy the whole ones so that I can strain them off and then slice them in half myself, so I'm going to start by doing that. Then I'm going to put a little bit of cornstarch on this pan. And a little bit of garlic salt. I'm going to toss these in it. Just kind of thinly coat it. It helps it crisp up really nice. We're going to like pan fry it a little bit and then put them on top of the pasta. It's instead of having some chicken or some shrimp, which this would be bomb with that too. This kind of just gives you like this meaty texture to and flavor to eat. All right, I got my pan really hot. I'm gonna put a thin layer of oil. This is 75% canola oil, 25% olive oil. Canola oil helps keep the smoke temp high so it doesn't burn. Nice thin layer of oil, let that heat up for about 30 seconds. All right, that was about 5 minutes for them to start getting the brown on one side that I like. So I'm gonna flip them each over and let it go for a few more minutes. All right, these are looking pretty great. A little bit brown on both sides. So I'm gonna throw them on a towel-lined pan and then throw them in my oven at 170 because that's the lowest it goes, just to hold warm while I finish making this pasta. All right, I'm gonna chop up some veggies for it. And honestly, it can be whatever you want. You got some asparagus or some carrots you wanna put in, anything. Just chop it up. If it's really thick, like a carrot, cut it a little bit smaller so it'll saute up nice. But I'm gonna do a bell pepper, the zucchini. I got like a half an onion in there and a couple tomato. But do whatever you want. All right, now to finish the pasta. I've dumped off all the oil out of the pan from doing the artichokes and just left a thin little layer there. I've got it cranked up to high. I'm gonna start by sauteing some of these aromatics. Here's a little tip for you. When I'm throwing veggies in the bowl, I start with what I wanna add last, like the zucchini, because I don't want that to get mushy at the bottom, and then bell peppers, and then onion. That way, when I add them, I can add the onion, saute that for a bit, add the bell pepper, saute that for a bit, and then the zucchini. And the tomato I'm adding fresh, so that's in a separate bowl. We'll add that at the end. Start with the onion. I'll do the onion and bell pepper at the same time. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but gotta go a little bit of garlic in here. If you just have garlic powder, garlic salt, whatever, that's fine too. But you know I'm all about the tube. I'm gonna put like a tablespoon in there. I didn't put any salt in the sauce that I made. So like I said before, season every ingredient a little bit as you go. I seasoned my pasta water. I'm seasoning the veggies that I am sauteing. Just a little kosher salt and black pepper. All right, so the onion, garlic, bell pepper, starting to get a little bit brown. I'm gonna throw the zucchini in there. We like to keep our veggies pretty crunchy still. If you want to cook them down softer, or if you're trying to like hide them from kids, cook it as long as you want. Saute the zucchini just a little bit, and now I'm going to scrape this sauce into there. So once this whole thing kind of comes to a boil and you've stirred really well, so you know that the seasoning has been able to meld together really well, you can taste it for seasoning. It's easier to adjust the seasoning before you put the pasta in. It's just hard to thoroughly mix it once the noodles are in there. All right, this is simmered for about a minute now. The veggies are cooked as much as I want, so I'm gonna put all this pasta in here. All right, now we plate it up and eat. Grab the artichokes out of the oven. The Parmigiano Reggiano. If you don't have a microplane like this, you should get one. It's awesome for hard cheeses like this, or for like a really fine lemon, lime, orange zest. I love our microplane. All right, babe, hobble in here. This is your dish right here.
Oh, so excited. Hi. So good.
Cheers.
Cheers.